Hello and welcome back to Wee Woolly Wonderfuls. In this video we're going to show you how to do the cheat magic circle. So if you've done everything and tried the magic circle and you simply just can't get the hang of it, this is a bit of a cheat method which is simpler to do. Doesn't give quite as neat a finish, but if you're struggling it's a great way of getting started. So we're going to get hold of our yarn and our 3.5mm crochet hook, and we are going to do a slip knot. So to do a slip knot, we just simply turn that so you've got a circle, like so. With this part, this end of the ball which goes to, this end of the yarn goes to the ball, we're going to just do that and pull that through, like so, and that's a slip knot. You might have to play that back a few times to get the hang of it, but with a slip knot you can alter the size of it, so we can pull the loop and it'll make it bigger, or then we can pull the end which leads to the ball of yarn to make it smaller, and then we're going to pop our hook through there. Now onto the slip knot so it just fits quite snug on your hook, but with a little tiny gap. We don't want a great big loop and we don't want it really tight, because either won't be easy to work with. So just like that is fine. And what we're going to do is we're going to do a chain. We're going to chain 2. So to chain, if you haven't watched the chain video, we're going to wrap the end of the wool which goes to the ball around the back and then over and around the front of our crochet hook, and then we're going to let the hook grab that strand, try and keep the strand all in the hook part, don't let it split. If you let it split you will end up with problems and it won't be very neat looking. Then we're going to pull that through the loop, and that is one chain. The first part isn't a chain, it's just the slip knot, so that is our first chain. So then we're going to do another chain, so around the back, over and around the front. Just hold this, don't let it loose, because you'll struggle to, you can't pull it through if it's loose, it just will fall off. So pull it through, pull it over, keep hold of it. If you can see how I'm holding it, I'm just gripping it like that, not really tight, not too loose, just holding it so we're keeping it in place. So hold that and then pull it through again. If you find it looks a bit tight, look, I've pulled that too tight, I can't get it through, so I'll just pull my hook up to loosen it. I'll start again, so round the back and over, and then pull the whole strand through the loop, and you can see that's 2 chains. That's the slip knot at the bottom, and then we've got 1, 2 chains. So now what we're going to do, instead of making our stitches in a ring, we're going to do them in the second chain from the hook. The first chain from the hook is the last stitch that you did here. The second chain from the hook is the next one, so 1, 2. So we're going to go in here, so between the V, and we're going to use that as our ring to work our stitches into. So we're going in there, so what we're going to do is a double crochet, so we're going to grab the wool and pull it through the centre of the V, and then we're going to yarn over, this is also called like so, so we're going around the back and over the front, and then pull, let it catch on there naturally. If you do it like that, you'll struggle. You want it like that so that you're pulling it through those loops. So that is 1 double crochet stitch that you've done in the second chain from the hook. So now we're going to do the rest of our stitches in that same hole. You can see there your stitch. So in that same hole we're going to go in again. So we're going to go from the front to the back through that 1 loop, grab our yarn and pull it through, and the second part of the stitch, we don't go back through the hole, we either grab it like that, or you can wrap it around physically, whichever works easiest for you, and then pull that through both of those loops. So we're going to go back through the hole again now to stitch 3, grab the yarn and pull it through, and then I'll show you the different method. So we're going to wrap it around the back and like that, still holding it reasonably taut so we can keep hold of it, and then pull this strand through both loops, through the loop again, pull it through, and then this method, instead of wrapping it physically round, I'm just going to put my hook under it, underneath the strand, grab the wool and pull it through. So whichever method is more comfortable. So through the loop, grab the yarn and pull it through. It's like under and then over. 2 stages to the stitch. So under, over. So now we can count our stitches. That first part doesn't count, that's the knot. Just here, this bit is the knot, look. So we don't count that. We're looking for the full V shapes, which is a stitch. So that's our first stitch. 1, 2 stitches, 3 stitches, 2, 3, 4, 5 stitches. So the last one we're counting is this one here at the top. We don't count the loop that's on our hook. That's just what we're working with. So I'll just point to the last stitch. It's that one there. That's our 5th one. So let's count again. That's our slip knot at the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we need 6 for our magic circle. So we're going to do one more. Go back through the hole. It's looking a little bit bigger now. Grab our yarn, pull it through. So we've now got 2 loops at the top and pull it through. So now we have 6. So there is a little bit of a gap here. So we're going to pull, hold firmly with your thumb and your index finger and pull this to tighten it up a little bit. It won't tighten up a huge amount. You will be left with a tiny little hole. So that's why this isn't the preferred method for doing a magic circle, but it is a good way of doing it if you're finding the magic circle tricky. If it's quite a big hole when you finish your toy, we can just use our needle and put a couple of little stitches and just pull it a little bit tighter just to make it more of a closed ring. But that's the cheap magic circle. So the next stage that we're going to do, we're going to be looking at doing a round of double crochet stitches and also how to increase. So join us for that video. If you've any queries, do get in touch.